Have you ever found yourself questioning the people around you, especially the women you date? Maybe you've noticed certain behaviors that make you shake your head. You start wondering, why does she think like this? Why does she act this way? Am I missing something? Or is she? Here's the truth. Understanding these signs isn't about judging others. It's about protecting your own peace, avoiding unnecessary drama, and making better choices when it comes to love and relationships. And trust me, by the end of this video, you'll have a completely different perspective on dating, attraction, and emotional intelligence. This could be the wake-up call you've been waiting for. Before we dive in, make sure you subscribe to the channel, hit that like button, and stay with me till the end, because what you're about to learn will change the way you look at relationships forever. Let's begin. Imagine this. You meet a woman in a completely unfamiliar setting. She's beautiful, fun, and charming. Everything about her feels perfect. But then, little things start to pile up. You notice patterns. You begin questioning her mindset, her decisions, her values. And here's where Stoic philosophy comes in. This isn't about judging intelligence. It's about identifying whether someone has self-awareness, emotional control, and inner wisdom. As Seneca, the great Stoic philosopher, once said, "The greatest obstacle to living is expecting tomorrow and neglecting today." In other words, your choices today, especially about who you let into your life, can determine your future peace or misery. So let's break down the 6 signs of a foolish woman through the lens of Stoic wisdom. Sign 1, she thrives on drama. Have you ever been in a relationship that felt like a roller coaster? One moment everything's fine, and the next you're in the middle of a fight over a missed text. Sound familiar? Some women, and yes, some men too, crave chaos. They create problems even when none exist. It's almost like they feel uncomfortable in peace. Why? Because drama brings attention, and for some, attention feels like love. But here's the thing. A healthy relationship isn't supposed to be a soap opera. It's not supposed to drain you emotionally every single day. An emotionally intelligent woman seeks peace, not constant conflict. She understands what Marcus Aurelius meant when he said, "The greatest power is to remain tranquil in the face of trivialities." Think about your own relationships for a second. Have you ever dated someone who would get angry if you didn't reply in 5 minutes, accuse you of not caring enough, start fights when you spent time with friends? At first you try to explain, you try to compromise, but over time it becomes exhausting. If you feel like you're constantly walking on eggshells, take a step back and ask yourself, is this really the life I want? Stoic philosophy teaches us one key principle. You cannot control external chaos, only your inner response to it. A wise woman knows this too. She doesn't waste energy on meaningless drama. She builds a relationship that feels like home, not a battlefield. Have you ever been stuck in a relationship where the drama was endless? Share your experience in the comments. You're not alone. Sign 2, she can't take responsibility. Now picture this. You're in a relationship and everything's going well, until one small disagreement changes everything. Maybe it's a minor miscommunication, or maybe it's a serious argument. But instead of talking it out calmly, she immediately says, "It's not my fault, you should have known better." Sound familiar? Here's the harsh truth. If someone never owns their mistakes, the relationship will never grow, because healthy relationships are built on accountability, communication, mutual respect. No one is perfect. We all make mistakes, but wisdom lies in admitting those mistakes, learning from them and moving forward. The Stoics put it beautifully. Epictetus once said, "We suffer not from events, but from our judgment about them." In other words, it's not about avoiding mistakes. It's about how you respond when they happen. A wise woman says, "Yes, I was wrong. I'll do better." A foolish woman, on the other hand, plays the victim every time. Her default mindset is, it's always someone else's fault. Stay in a relationship like that long enough, and you'll eventually find yourself carrying the emotional weight for things that were never your responsibility. If your partner cannot take ownership of her actions, ask yourself, do I want to spend my life with someone who refuses to grow? Because without responsibility, there's no trust. And without trust, there's no relationship. Sign 3, she values materialism over character. Here's a question. Is she more interested in who you are or in what you can provide? At first, it feels amazing to spoil someone you care about. The gifts, the dinners, the vacations, it feels romantic. But then you start to notice something. Without the money and the extras, there's not much of a connection left. She doesn't care about your character, your values, or your emotional depth. She only cares about what you can give her. And here's the problem. No matter how much you provide, it will never be enough. She'll want bigger trips, fancier gifts, more expensive experiences. And if you don't provide them, suddenly you're not good enough. This is where Stoic philosophy becomes critical. Seneca reminds us, wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants. A wise woman values loyalty, character, and emotional connection over material possessions. She appreciates your efforts, not just your credit card balance. If you've ever felt like your worth was measured by your bank account, know this. It's not love, it's transactional validation. Ask yourself honestly, does she value me or just what I can provide? Sign 4. She constantly seeks validation. Have you ever been with someone who always needed to be reassured? You compliment her once, she wants 5 more. You tell her she's beautiful. Now she wants you to post about her online. You express love. She doubts it unless everyone else sees it too. At first it seems harmless. Everyone loves attention sometimes. But over time it becomes emotionally draining. Because no matter how much love you give, it's never enough for someone who doesn't love herself. She constantly posts on social media, chasing likes, comments, and external approval. And here's the catch. The more she gets, the more she needs. Marcus Aurelius said it perfectly. Stop debating what a good man should be one. In other words, your worth isn't determined by others' opinions. It's defined by your actions. A confident woman knows her value. She doesn't need constant reassurance. She appreciates your love even when it's not broadcasted to the world. But a foolish woman, she thrives on external validation. And without it, she feels empty. A relationship like this will eventually drain you emotionally. Because no matter what you give, it will never fill the void she's trying to fill from within. Sign 5, she can't handle criticism. Now let's talk about something subtle but powerful. How she reacts when you're honest. Picture this. You gently say, hey, maybe we should eat healthier. But instead of appreciating your concern, she gets defensive, angry, and shuts down. No matter how carefully you phrase things, the reaction is always the same. Emotional, defensive, sometimes even manipulative. This makes open communication almost impossible. And without honest communication, a relationship cannot grow. Stoic philosophy reminds us, it is impossible to learn what you think you already know. Epictetus, a wise woman, embraces feedback. But remember, a relationship without honest dialogue isn't peaceful. It's fragile. Sign 6, she lacks self-discipline. Finally, let's talk about one of the most overlooked signs. A woman without self-discipline may talk about her dreams, but rarely follows through. She'll say she wants to start a business, get fit, travel the world. But when it comes time to take action, there's always an excuse. Stoic wisdom teaches us that success comes from consistent action. Marcus Aurelius said, waste no more time arguing what a good person should be. Be one. A wise woman doesn't just talk about her goals, she works for them. Her actions match her words. But a foolish woman, she gets trapped in cycles of procrastination, chaos, and wasted potential. Being in a relationship with someone like this can feel like dragging dead weight. You'll constantly be the one planning, organizing, and driving progress, while she simply floats along. Ask yourself honestly, do I want a partner who pushes me forward, or one who holds me back? Conclusion. According to Stoic philosophy, recognizing these 6 signs isn't about judging others. It's about protecting your energy and choosing relationships that nourish your soul. Remember this, you can't fix someone who refuses to grow. You can't create peace with someone who thrives on chaos. And you can't find happiness in a relationship built on drama, blame, and endless validation seeking. Choose wisely, because the difference between joy and misery in love often comes down to who you allow into your life. If this video gave you clarity, like it, share it, and subscribe for more Stoic wisdom and relationship insights. And let me know in the comments. Have you ever dealt with any of these signs before? Your story might help someone else. Thank you for watching.